welcome to Mind Your Business, a channel where we are in everybody's business. If you don't mind getting in people's business, you're on the right channel. Talking about current topics and gossip. Well, people, this episode was definitely interesting. We see Martell being particularly messy, Destiny, what is going on, and Kimmy and Mel was an interesting conversation. It didn't go very far. Let's talk about it, people. Welcome, people. My inclusive crew. Let's talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, aka Love and Mugshots. So, this week was interesting to me. We saw Martell helping Destiny move into her new business. She's like, I've got this new business now because, you know, she's moving on with her new brand and doing her new sprays and all this kind of stuff. So I'm thinking, okay, right, because obviously before she had a shop. And I'm expecting to see her in an office or a shop or something. And I was very surprised because when I saw her moving out, I'm like, isn't this a storage unit? This is a storage unit because I know what it looked like. Like, I've had to put stuff in storage before. I'm like, this was like a storage unit to me. Anyway, it was one of those ones that you can set up and have businesses in. So I was like, okay, it's giving very much starter up kind of vibes. Just wasn't quite what I was expecting because, you know, she had that big store and then she's doing this. But I say kudos to her for the grind and keeping it going and keeping it pushing. So anyway, but while we saw Martell there, we saw him being delusional as usual. Like, Martell is forever delusional because he's now telling the audience, us and Destiny, that no, he wasn't found guilty of the charges of the harassing communications, domestic violence, harassing communications. He wasn't found guilty and it's all nonsense that the newspapers and the media are reporting. Like, what? What? Well, not dumb, sir. We've seen that you have been charged with this. He's talking about, we've got, no, it's going to different court. No, you mean you've been charged, which means you therefore have to appeal to the higher court to try and get it overturned. But you, sir, have been charged, so let's stop all the delulu behaviour. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, he was also saying how he's vexed about Marsau and the interview that he done with Dustin on YouTube, where he rightfully said that, you know, any person, well, in this case, Martell, who is putting out revenge porn on their wife, like, you lose respect for them. And I feel like that's a fair thing to say. And if you've listened to my channel before, you know that I'm not the biggest Marsau fan, but I'm finding myself agreeing with him quite a lot lately because he was right on that. Anyway, Kimmy and Mel, we see Mel invite Kimmy out to do some workout with her. And I'm like, okay, is this a check-up on health situation? Like, you know, check in. But no, we know it's really because Mel wants to get the tea on Maurice and what's going on with his DUI. And Kimmy knows this very much so. Because to me, that whole interaction, at first it was like, okay, cool. But when it got to the DUI chat, you can see Kim shut down. Obviously, she doesn't want to talk about this on TV because it's a legal situation. But on the other side, I was thinking, it's interesting because when it's been on the other shoe, the shoe's been on the other foot, and it's not necessarily to do with a legal situation, granted, but Kimmy will definitely ask questions, and so do other people ask questions. So I could understand why Mel was asking the questions. I could also understand why Kimmy was like, I'm not really saying much. It was definitely giving kind of fake vibes to me. It was giving fake friendship, because I used to like those two's friendship, but I can see it's just not quite the same, and that's because, obviously, you know, Mel doesn't like that. Most of them are still cool with Martell, and, you know, that causes a bit of issue. And also because Kimmy has shown times where she seems to side with Martell, and those are the bits where I'm like, no, Kimmy, just pull yourself back. But anyway, in that situation, I thought it was hilarious. It was definitely giving guarded/fake friends vibes. When Melody said, is it true that he was drinking during the day? I was like, woo. Kimmy was just not here for it at all. It just made me laugh. She was not here for any of the questions. She did not have an answer for that at all. She was just like, it's not exactly what it seems. So she said that it's out there. It's out in the media. You know, what's out there, out there. Then when she's asking questions about what's out there, then you're saying that's not the case. So I'm just like, whatever, please. You lot are jokers. Like, if you're going to be transparent, be transparent. Obviously, you know, there's legal issues. But what I find interesting, though, is based on the preview of next week where Melody is asking Tisha about lipstick and seeing the image that they put up there. I'm like, no. Like I said last week, I don't know what he was doing out at certain hours. Or was it during the daytime? I don't know. This is all sounding very sketchy. Anyway, besides that, we saw we see Marsau and Tisha. She popped in on him when he's working on the development site, and of course she's asking him if he's checked in on Martell, which he hasn't. You can tell that Marsau has checked out, and he says it himself that he's kind of checked out on him. He's obviously pissed off with Martell, because we've seen Martell try to throw Marsau under the bus. I'm not saying that Marsau is innocent. I just feel like he's a bit more clever, and he will probably, got people signed to NDAs and stuff like that. Like, he seems like he's a little bit more switched on if he's doing that sort of stuff. I do believe there's smoke, there's a bit of fire, and, I definitely look at him with a side eye. But, yeah, he hasn't been caught with his, hand in a cookie jar, unlike Martell, who's just been out here being messy. So anyway, he's obviously not bothered about Martell at all and lets her know. Then she's asking about Maurice, and I felt like he got his back up on that as well. Just like, she's just trying to encourage him to check in on his brother. And he's being very defensive. But, that doesn't surprise me with Marcel. He can be like that with her. Destiny and Kimmy. I thought it was interesting when you've got Destiny talking about she's, going to be organising this big D energy field game day. So I was like, okay, sounds interesting. It made me laugh when Kimmy started letting her know that she met up with Mel, when Mel kind of felt away about some of the interview comments that she's been doing. And you've got Destiny saying, oh, well, call her. Kimmy's like, I don't really want to be in this. I'll just pass this on. But why you got me called him? But obviously Destiny doesn't have Maddie's number. But then when she did call Mel didn't answer. And, of course, Destiny's like, oh, you're blocked kind of attitude. It's just like, look, leave her alone. Yeah, Kimmy's not blocked. Those two have their own little thing going on. Fake friendship. But, she's not blocked. I thought it was interesting also that Kimmy was saying it's only Martell and Destiny that called to check in on them. So I was like, does that mean that Marsau didn't? Or did they just not mention them? Or interesting. Now, the Big D Energy Phil Get Day situation was funny to me. When they first started doing their musical chairs and all that kind of stuff, it was funny. So I was like, okay, this is starting off nice little energy. Everyone's on a good little vibe. And then, of course, the mix-up starts. And we find out that Martell is vexed with Marsau about the interview that he done with Dustin. Marsau standing on basically what he said. He did lose respect for him, because at the end of the day, if you're doing revenge porn, and that is disrespectful behaviour. So, and I'm with him on that. I agree with Martell chatting about, no, it wasn't that, it's not that, it's not true. He's such a delusional, crazy man to me. I'm just like, what do you mean it's not true? She's even said it. I thought to myself, why didn't Martell say, actually, I sat with your ex-wife and she told me what you did? So, like, what? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure, didn't they have a sit down about something or other? Anyway, point being is, Marsau letting him know he don't believe none of his rubbish. Martell is just, like I said, delusional. And then, of course, he goes to the whole chatting about he's not lying, why you don't believe him. And Marsau's like, well, you've lied before. You said this whole thing about me having 20 women and all this stuff. And then I'm thinking, how's he going to recover from this? No, Martell's not looking to recover. He's looking to double down. He's like, right, no, I did say, okay, that you slept with 20 women since you've been married to Tisha. So I'm just like, oh, here he goes again. But where are your receipts? You said this before. I'm not saying that there could be some truth to it, because those two have been rolling for a very long time. But where are the receipts? He says, I know several women that you've been with. And I'm sitting there looking at Tisha's face. I'm just thinking, Tisha, we all know that she'll just listen to whatever Marsau says. And obviously, she's not being presented with receipts, what she says. But it made me laugh when they got into the whole betting situation. Martell says, yeah, I bet you 50,000 that, he's basically got the receipts and he's got the proof. And Marcel just kept calling him on his bullshit of his, well, show me the 50,000 then. It's just like, that part cracked me up. But long story short, Martell ran to go and get his phone, chatting about he's got receipts and let's show each other the messages. And he shows nothing. Once again, shows absolutely nothing. Just standing there, running his mouth, making himself just look ridiculous. I'm just like, and then when he's just in his confessional talking about, well, he's come at me, he's hurt me, I'm going to hurt him. I'm just like, you are exactly exhibiting the behaviours that shows that you are down with sort of revenge porn and, getting your lick back, essentially. So you're not making a case look any better at this point either. It's just ridiculous. But obviously, Tisha's upset. She's like, well, show the receipts. He's been saying this shit for 7 years, so where are the receipts? Marcel going back and forth. And it's just a hot mess. You've got Destiny who's there acting like she's trying to calm it down. But I'm like, Destiny, take a seat, because you started this mess in the first place. You decided you wanted to do the game with the questions. You knew what you were doing with the questions. So, yeah, you can't be acting like this is a surprise to you. You was also smirking at certain points too. I definitely saw that. But I don't know why she's trying to act like, she's trying to calm it down now. It's like, well, you have helped start this off and you know that you're friend Martell is a little bit of a madman, and unfortunately this is the outburst that he has. So yeah, it's an interesting one for sure, and I will be staying tuned. Like I said, I just think Martell is delusional. Marsau, I don't think he's innocent, but again, where's the receipts? We need the receipts, please, or otherwise just zip it. Just leave it alone. So yeah, Mel and Kimmy, yeah, interesting energy. What do you guys think about that sit down? Anyway, of course, I had to check out social media to see what people were saying on there about the show. Here are some tweets that had me cracking up. Okay, so you've seen those tweets and you've heard what I have to say. Now, what are you saying? Let me know your thoughts below. Yes, so thanks for watching that. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and hit that notification bell so you know when I am uploading some more of people's business. So until then, my nosy people, stay blessed.